Hello everyone and welcome to the Experts. Today we are accompanied by people who will share knowledge about an important topic in today's world, leadership. Our first guest is Yvette Hernandez, who is a social worker and is also going to define us the concept of leadership. Welcome Miss Yvette and tell us, what is leadership?
Good afternoon, Nami. It's a pleasure for me to be with you, sharing our knowledge about leadership, which is a very important issue in our society and for the development of each one as a person. I appreciate your invitation. To begin with, I would like to first define what leadership is. Leadership is a set of skills that an individual has to influence the way for being or acting of people or in our group, making this team work with enthusiasm toward the achievement of these goals and objectives. So, we can say that a leader is a person who has the ability to delegate, take the initiative, manage, convince, promote, encourage, motivate, and evaluate a project effectively and efficiently. In addition, a person as a leader has several important characteristics such as being charismatic, respectful, has a great ability to communicate, is disciplined, very innovative, and above all is patient. The leader is able to analyze the positive and negative points in a management of tasks, and in this way design a strategic plan to support efficient and overcome or avoid flaws those communication. Thank you.
A very interesting and accurate definition to start this conversation. Thank you, Yvette Hernandez. The next guest is Gisela Perez, a renowned psychologist. The first question for her is, what does social influence consist of?
Hello everyone, thanks for the invitation. My name is Gisela Perez and I am a specialist in psychology.
The next question is, how can leaders manage stress?
By maintaining good sleep habits, because sleep is essential to repair the body. When we sleep poorly or too little, cortisol, the stress hormone, tends to rise. Identify psychosocial risks in your team. In addition to managing their own stress, leaders can help manage the stress of the people they work with. Mapping the state of mind of your team will help maintain trusting relationships and stop the stigma of mental health. Asking Kate questions: how are you and your family doing? Do you want to talk about something in the space? How can we help each other? Promoting breaks and rest time in your teams.
The last question for you, Ms. Gisela, is how to create leadership in a group.
Although leadership is a complex phenomenon, for neutrality it is possible to learn to be a leader. There are some fundamental ideas from which we must start to adopt the role of leader. Do not appeal to authority, perfect your communication skill, do not assume that the other person knows what you know. Do not confuse leadership with arrogance. Don't use the growth of therapy. Make sure that there are always objectives to achieve.
That is very important information. Thank you very much for joining us today, Gisela. Our next guest is Jose Cianca, who is a well-known economist in the business world. Welcome, Jose. The first question for you is, what is the relationship between leaders and economy?
Leadership ensures that companies achieve their optimal effort thanks to teamwork. The optimal of companies leverage the economic balance, making good disciplines. Feedback once again. There is no economic optimum without a good administration of resources, and in order to achieve that good administration, it is necessary to have leaders who make possible strategic project focuses in the welfare of society.
Next question. What is the importance of the economy for leaders?
Leadership in the economy, as well as the administration, aims at the effective management of resources in order to meet the objective of the companies effectively.
A concise answer. The last question is, how does a good leadership influence in the economy of a company?
Good leadership manifests itself when we do things right. In other words, the objectives that we have established are met. The approach to where we want to go as a company, we see it reflected in the results, the revenue that are generated when there is a good management of resources. And this is achieved by implementing leadership techniques. Therefore, without good leadership, companies are unlikely to achieve success because they cannot achieve the objective to be obtained.
Thank you, Jose Cianco, for joining us today and sharing your knowledge with us. Our next guest is Ms. Elizabeth Robles, who is a sociologist. Welcome to our program, Elizabeth. Tell us some qualities of a leader in the society.
These qualities are in those people who create a future, take advantage of the time, know how to convince, work as a team, listen to their collaborator, know how to relate, adapt their environment, and have self-confidence.
Yes, and I guess there must be even more. The next question is, what should leadership be like for a positive society?
It's interesting to know that a person of a small group of people has the power to influence how millions of people. A society devoid of competent leaders invariably fall into small-scale disaffection and large-scale turmoil and anarchy. A leader who is a good and what he does is able to keep people motivated, inspired. He works for the common good of the society and not for his personal benefits. When people have they failed in their leader and feel that they care of them, wherever economy, socially or political, and they are in a better state of mind in general. Good leadership create a happy society and create a strong nation.
I agree with your answer, Miss Elizabeth. The last question is, how does bad leadership affect the society?
Bad leadership is reflected in those who lead their followers in the path of the selfishness. Individuals competent for their values, racism, and hatred. Those has the base they strength on destroy their enemies or passing over them even their friend. When negative leaders should appreciate the collective thinking and society, social capital is destroyed and the most resilient failure is direct.
Thank you for your answers and for joining us today, Miss Elizabeth. Our last but not least guest is a young writer and a journalist who is going to tell us about an essential book for those who want to develop as better leaders and better persons in the society. Welcome, actor.
Thank you for the invitation. I'm pleased to be here. I want to share with you about a book that's changed my life. When I read it for the first time as a teenager in my ethics class, it greatly helped me to awaken the sense of leadership and also allowed me to achieve many goals by becoming more empathetic and creative and directing my life better towards personal success as well as a future professional entrepreneur. So it's called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey, and it's a famous self-improvement book. It is written on Covey's belief that the way we see the world is entirely based on our own perceptions. In order to change a given situation, we must change ourselves. And to change ourselves, we must be able to change our own perceptions. So let's dive in briefly through them. One is be proactive. Use your self-awareness to examine your own character and take responsibility of the situations towards effectiveness. Two is begin with the end in mind. Start with a clear destination or focus for the future. That way we can make sure that the steps we're taking are in the right direction. Three is put first things first. We must have the discipline to prioritize our day-to-day actions based on what is most important and not what is most urgent. Four, we have think win-win. In order to establish effective interdependent relationships, we must commit ourselves to create win-win situations that are mutually beneficial for satisfying each party. Five is seek first to understand and then to be understood. Before we can offer advice, suggest solutions, or effectively interact with another person in any way, we must seek to deeply understand them and their perspective through empathetic listening. Six is synergize. By understanding and valuing the differences in another person's perspective, we have the opportunity to create synergy, which allow us to uncover new possibilities and through openness and creativity. And the seven is sharpen the saw. To be effective, we must devote the time to renewing ourselves physically, spiritually, mentally, and socially. Continuous renewal allows us to synergistically increase our ability to practice each habit. So interesting, isn't it? Why not to take a look? We all want to succeed, and one path to success is identifying the habits that can help us on a journey. So it's on your job to work yourself. As a leader, you got the power. Thank you.
I promise you I will read that book, Hector. Thank you for joining us today. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we wrap up today's program. We hope you enjoyed this knowledge exchange for our guests. This was The Experts. Goodbye.